Hi everybody, welcome to South Olympic Branch update number 28. Let's get started. Working on cutting in a panel for my touch toggle controls here. And so I'm using a Forstner bit to kind of put a hole in there, and then using a 3/8 inch, so a 1-inch Forstner bit for the outside hole and a 3/8 inch Forstner bit or a 3/8 inch bit to go through the rest of the way. So I have a hole for the wiring to go through. And then I'll have one of these drawings that I'm going to go over the top of that with when that's done. And then over the top of that, I've got some plexiglass, and the touch toggles can sense touch through the plexiglass, so it should be like paper and plexi, and then I should be able to tap the button and control those turnouts. That'll be plugged into my LCC system when I get that programmed up, so we'll see how this works. I'm going to pop this one out because I'm going to drill the next hole. So I poked a hole through this paper. You can see the holes in there. And then I put a dot and drilled a pilot hole, not all the way in, just a little bit, to make sure that the tip of the Forstner has a good solid place to start and wouldn't wander off exactly where I wanted it to be. So I'm going to do this, and I've got a little line on the bit, and makes a heck of a mess, but here we go. Got a little line on the bit, and I'm going to where the line on the bit says, or at least as good as I can, and I think I just got there. Let me just look, and I kind of lightly clean it up a little bit, kind of check my line. Yeah, I think we got it. Now, if I put the touch toggle in the hole, I can see if we're deep enough. It looks like we are. So that's one. And then I've done as you can see, I've done a few of these already. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the last one. These ones down near the bottom are a little close together, but it'll be okay. And if it's not okay, well, I'll figure it out. This is 3/4 inch plywood on the front of this, and actually the plexi will probably be inset into some tempered hardboard framed out that way at some point. Fascia is nice, but it's not really a priority to me. So you'll get there. I want to run some trains. I'm sure you guys feel the same way. So here's going with the 3/8 bit now, and I'm just going at the bottom of the hole. I don't think it really matters where you do this. It would matter it would matter if I was doing a 2-light toggle like this one over here, but since I'm going to do a 1-light toggle, except for this one, which is going to be for the crossover, that's going to be over here, the rest of them I think will be just fine whichever side I choose to make them, because it's just a 1-light toggle, so it changes from red to green when you push the button, when you push it. And if I get the holes too deep, I'm just going to put some double stick tape behind them. Cool, so we've got that done. Okay. So feed those through the hole and pick off the plywood out of the back side here, kind of working it so hopefully I won't get splinters in my hand doing this. It's no fun. Okay. Push those in and, oh, turn it around so the touch toggle is actually on the front. I may end up using some tape to kind of hold it in place where I want it to be anyway. So let's see, all my buttons go. Just had a couple sitting out here. Put this in place. But since these are one button right in the middle, probably won't matter exactly where they are. I've got a third one lying around here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Okay. Pull that through. And then, yeah. And we'll connect those up. There's one hanging in here already that's connected to the breakout piece. So that's open as well. So there we go there. So we're gonna move the camera a little bit, and I think I'm just gonna lay it down on the thing here. You can see the breakout board right here. So I'm gonna take this and plug these puppies in, and actually I need to do a quick reference, so I'm gonna pause. So on the other one I have connected, the brown wire is on the inside of the layout, so that's the way I'm gonna go on this, and that's line one starts there. This probably doesn't actually matter what quote unquote line I start with, because it's all programming. So once it's in there, I can hit the button. It'll tell me in the monitor or the log what number that generates, and then of course from that, as I've shown you guys before, I can take the number and put it where it needs to be to control what I want to control. Okay, now I think I'll pause again because I'm going to plug this in so I can get some response out of the lighting. I plugged it into power, and of course, you know, first time didn't actually work. I thought that's funny because the lights, even if I haven't programmed it, the lights should still turn on. I thought, what have I done? What's wrong here? Because this worked before on the other side. Well, this cable's bad. So I gotta fix that. But I made another one for the time being. So we have, you know, working lights. These really work better when they're solidly mounted. That's why, you know, you won't see them in this part of the video. But anyway, then what we do is, as I said before, paper over the front of that, and moving it around because I'm not. Okay, then let's grab the tripod. Okay, so line up my drawing where I want it. Plexi over the front like that, and then I can tap one of these. You have to hit it kind of hard right now. And the drawing's not lined up exactly where I want it. That's better. And but these will get, so they'll change. The ones that aren't responding very well, I probably need to put something behind it to get it up against the plexi. All right. like that. I found the plexiglass, and a couple of these touch toggles don't really want to stay put where I want them right now, but I don't need any more thickness, so I'm just going to put a little bit of blue tape on the back, and that should help it stay put while I position things. Then I've got a drill here somewhere that had a small bit in it. Of course, I don't see it on it. There it is. Okay, so want this up here. So as I said before, I think I'm going to turn it on. And actually I'm going to put a piece of blue tape on the back of that. I'm going to turn this on so that I can see where the lights are through the paper. And that will make it easier to line up that. Okay. Cool. Oh, of course, that one is not plugged in. Let's go ahead and make sure that that is ready to go as well. There it goes. There it is. All right. And why not do this one too while we're at it? Not fun to being upside down while I do stuff, but you know, it's part of the deal. Okay. So that looks pretty good, I think. And I think when I tap this one, yep, it changes. So how about this one? Okay. So we could change that out. I think I'll change that one out for a single light. This doesn't really do what I want it to do. So let's go. Let's see. That was this one. I think. Yep. It was. Of course, this one was the ones I taped in. In this case, the red and green will just symbolize either whether or not the crossover is active. So we should have it, if I put this one back on there. Yep, I should have it. Okay. Probably a good thing this stuff isn't activating anything yet. Okay, so there we go. We got red, green, perfect. Okay, let's slide the plexi over a little bit because I want it lined up with where I wanted everything else. Excellent. I'm just going to put a little hole up here. Okay. And over here. Perfect. Okay. And I just need to get a couple of number 4 screws. And of course, they aren't handy. I'm going to go ahead and go all the way through the plexi with this drill bit. Okay. I don't know if you can actually see that. And, all right. While I was at it, I grabbed a couple of number 4 screws. And I just need to line this back up again. just using 2 screws right now because I just want to get it so it stays on there at the moment. And then test things out. I'll come back later when I've got a final version of this cleaner. In the midst of all this, my printer decided to quit working. So you gotta push harder than you think. Of course, once that's there, yeah, that'll be better. I'll have to tell people, push hard. Remember, you're making 3 copies. No, I'm just kidding. I'll reprint this because I drew squares on it to give myself an idea where things were going to be, and but I think it's going to look pretty good. Now I'm going to move on to programming. Now the panel is functional. You do have to push kind of firmly to get it to change. You can hear a signal changing in the background. We got visual confirmation on that. And now we can watch 4082 come up the grade. And this is an Atlas RS3 Classic Gold. It's a little light, so that train right there is the most it can pull up the helix. That's fine. I might pair it up with like a Jeep or something like that and be a cool combination. Let's watch it roll into the yard. Those signals are going to be given a more sophisticated setup eventually. Right now they just indicate turnout position, which is quite a bit helpful. And this is going to be it for the episode 28. Thanks for joining me. Take care out there. Have fun with your trains.